Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Greeting, greeting, greeting. Welcome, hello. Hello, replay crew, if there are any of you. That time of the week again. Oh, that makes a good noise if I open that flat on the bench, doesn't it? Oh, there. Right. So, how is everyone this week? When you turn up, let me know. Yeah. Just a normal week at work this week. General stuff's done around the house. Fair bit of painting. Bit of dabbing. Diamond painting, I should say. Bit of napping, chilling, watching random stuffs. So yeah, all in all, good week. Did have some more custom diamond paintings turn up this week. Bloody Nora. Oh dear. That's about as English as you can get. How you doing, Sammy? On a bit of a go slow, are we? That's usually a good place to be, really. So yeah, given how things have been lately, I'm quite happy to just have a normal week. Nothing going massively wrong, no weirdness happening. Yeah, made a start on wrapping presents. Not Christmas ones, Mary's birthday presents. Oh, pardon me. Well, because Mary's birthday is beginning of December, it dawned on me that I don't really want to be sitting there going, oh, crud, I've got to wrap all these presents. And then like a week later going, oh, crud, I've got to wrap all the Christmas presents now. So I figured I'd spread it all out a bit. Make it less of a chore and more enjoyable, which is always a good thing. So yeah, I've finished the diamond painting I was doing of Olivia Madison. That's now hung up on the wall. Obviously, got a fair chunk done on the succubus. Not coming out as well as I'd hoped. It's a very dark image, which is good because the darker paints are easier. But we shall see as we get the actual main body of the figure painted what she's going to turn out like. I suspect not like the image that they used to advertise it. And I also made a start on another paint by numbers, this one of Christina Hendricks, although if I bring that up I'm going to have to cover a certain part of it. An incubus is a male succubus, yes. And that's why I'm not doing an incubus. I prefer a succubus to an incubus. Pretty much should be my taste in a nutshell, really, shouldn't it? Boobs and death. Well, this particular succubus does seem to be lacking in the former. Especially she's kind of anime style. I would have expected an anime one to be rather top heavy, but yeah. I suppose if you got a fly with a pair of bat wings, having a bunch of excess weight up the top is probably a bad idea. And yes, my cigarette does keep going out. What else? So we got one more Christmas diamond painting to do, which will be a fun one. It's of Zach. So the floofy boy. Once that done, I can get into doing what I want to do. Well, I want to do all of them, but you know what I mean. I can get back to more me stuff rather than cute animals, which is most certainly not me. So I best get back to painting, I suppose. Get the elbow rest. And as I'm on to the lighter colours, things will slow down now because they will all need a second coat. It's just the way of things. If they print the lines and the numbers dark enough on the canvas that you can see them, the lighter colours don't cover them. It's just the way it is. Now we can do about it, so we just get on with it. So the first coat, excuse me, isn't going to be that precise. Knowing I'm going to be going over it again. So it's just making sure I cover the lines and get the area filled in. What else happened this week? Oh yes, had a couple more deliveries turn up. Yes, I know. If I was a YouTuber worth my salt, I'd have done unboxings on them. Got the free content. However, they were pretty much all not safe for work, so I couldn't exactly do that. Actually, I think the second one is safe for work, but you're hungry. Oh, ramen. Ramen or frozen pizza, that's usually the best way to go. Or, as it would be called in the UK, instant noodles. Oh, you're on black coffee as well. What, you run out of milk? And yes, in the UK we do just use milk. And anyone who uses anything like oat milk or soy milk or almond milk, unless they've got an allergy or such, yeah, they just get mercilessly mocked. Oh, I prefer almond milk. Yeah, you like nut juice in your coffee, do you? Yeah. Milk comes out of living things. The only exception I'll make to that is coconut milk. Yeah. Mammals produce milk. As far as I'm aware, an almond is not a mammal. It might be more intellectually gifted than some mammals, but probably got a better grasp of the English language than some people. But there we go. What else have we been up to? What's been going on? I'd say not a huge amount, really. It's my kind of week. Relatively calm and stress-free. Um, well, I did see that he kind of wanted to make it illegal or something to insult him. But, don't do anything that's worthy of being insulted for, and you won't get insulted. Kind of simple. Or get a thicker skin. Yeah. It's the fact that he still thinks that everyone loves him. Everyone thinks he's wonderful. And the fact that he's got about as good a grasp of economics as the aforementioned almond. That's just but that's enough about raving idiots. Uh, I'm here. We don't need any more. Um, well, I'm not raving. I haven't done raving since the 90s. Uh, yeah, it's just not my scene, bro. So the numbers there, but it goes all the way up. Right. Yes. Thinking about getting a massage a lot. Oh, really? Happy ending or shoulders hurt? Yeah, I get that. But I've never really been one to do massages. Um, Generally, because the times I have had massages, I've usually been in more pain afterwards than I was beforehand. So, I was only a certain type of Asian. Yep. And as I thought, the happy ending. Yeah. Actually, my shoulders have been okay lately. If anything, it's been my left wrist that's been playing up. That's probably just the weather. It does that from time to time. Um, it's from Thursday evening, about 5 minutes before I left off work. So basically 8 o'clock, we'll call it. Um, it started raining, and then it carried on raining all Thursday night, all Friday night, and didn't actually stop until around about midday Saturday. And then we've had more rain since. So yeah, it's the damp is probably getting in and causing issues for me. So yeah, hence my left wrist and my right ankle have been giving me jip. I think we just get on with it, carry on. If it gets really bad, stick some ibuprofen cream on. Not that it really does much. Um, it's not an actual injury per se. It's healed. It's just susceptible to pressure changes and prolonged periods of dampness. I was going to say moistness, but yeah, probably doesn't help. I've been spending quite a bit of time up here, sitting in was probably not the best position for a buggered ankle. Oh dear, it is quiet today. Um, um, yes, next week is Turkey Day, isn't it? Actually, it will be interesting to see what the Black Friday sales are like this year. Whether there's the mass fights over TVs or anything. Funny feeling, even though things are on sale, people probably can't afford them. Um, It won't be a sale as such. It'll just be all the stuff that hasn't got tariffs on it yet. Just sitting here talking to myself. Oh, oh, someone's back. Certain type I meant like I didn't think I was being weird or anything. I wouldn't ever think you were being weird, Sam. I would know it. Uh, the old joke about how can you tell when a politician is lying? Their lips move. You moderate, you wouldn't let you send a message that they're not separated. Which is interesting because I should have all that turned off. Unless there are just certain things that YouTube thinks, oh no, you can't talk about that. You might offend someone. Whoop-de-doo. Let the person who runs the channel decide what they find offensive. Because, I mean, let's be honest. The moderators on my channel, on my streams, I know there aren't many people joining. You don't exactly have a lot of moderating to do you? Try to change that and it wouldn't. What would it be in French? Madame Garçon, something like that. Literally, but there's probably a different French term. Corsican. Oh dear. I'm really going to be getting myself in trouble now. There. If I didn't mock the French, I wouldn't be English. Same as if I went on a French YouTuber's live stream, I would expect to get slated for being English. Yeah, exactly. Because I've got that turned off, but I'm guessing it might be something to do with something deeper than what I would have control of. Maybe the text to speech thing is going, oh, you can't say that. But the thing is, we weren't saying it in a derogatory manner, which I think is where a lot of these things come unstuck. If people just decide something is offensive, or it's a slur or whatever. But the thing is, a lot of these words do have other uses. Ladyboy isn't one of them, but it's, like what Brits call a cigarette for an abbreviation means something different in America. And the delightful meatballs that Mr. Brains sells in gravy means something completely different in America. As I've said before, two countries separated by a common language. Yeah, exactly. Sammy's just seeing what he can get away with typing before he gets auto kicked or something. It won't be me kicking you, and I think you know that. It's not like there's anyone else here. This is the problem when you have computers doing the sensorifying. Yeah. Computers can't tell the difference between intense or sarcasm. I mean, hell, there's plenty of humans can't tell sarcasm. So, yeah, it's not overly surprising. I wonder if it will let. No. Right, so we're going to need painting instructions. How to paint. No, don't need that. I think I've got that figured out. So I'm just looking for a. There we go. Swap Heartworks over. Oh, that goes down there to dry, so I don't go just resting my hand in. Which way are we going to do this? I'm going to do this bit off camera, mostly. Pull the tape off. Come on, off you come. And hopefully we can stick the bit of paper. Oh, that piece of masking tape's a hanky. That should hopefully go in there. Yeah, we're gravy. That worked. That's now what I would consider safe for work. I'm probably going to need a second bit of tape for this side. Yeah, we might get away with it. Let's give it a go. Yeah, you can't see anything. People are going to get sarcasm through text. Some of them don't get it through speech, so don't worry about it. Bonsoir, Brian. How the devil are you, gorgeous? We're doing some painting by numbers, but decided that I'd better let the paint dry before I start leaning my fingers and hands all over it. Howdy, Mikey. Oh, insurance. Oh. Can't you just do that online these days? It takes about 5 minutes. It does over here anyway. You just go, yeah, this is what I want, and then it goes, okay, and you just fill in your details, put your bank account in, and it direct debits it every month. So you don't even have to think about it until it's up for renewal. And then most people don't think about it. You just let it auto renew every year. Well, like house insurance. Car insurance, people shop around, but home insurance or contents insurance tends not to change too much. It's not exactly a big bill. Yeah, actually, I think my house and contents insurance costs me less per year than a TV license used to. And yes, I've been having more letters off the TV license people telling me that I need a license. I don't. I don't watch anything that is covered by a TV license. And they know I don't watch anything that's not covered by a TV license because I've told them multiple times. But they seem to think that by sending threatening and scary looking letters, that I'm going to go, oh no. Do you think if I told them I don't because there's absolutely crap all I want to watch that's on TV? No, you don't produce anything I want to watch, so why would I pay for it? It'd be like me having a gym membership and never going to the gym. Because I wouldn't. I did actually get a free gym membership. I forget where it was on. Was it Sainsbury's or can't remember. I think I got it through work. The company is so figuring it all out. Strategy to buy lower tier and hope the total out of pocket is real if it's needed. Yeah, that's usually a good idea is to buy the minimum insurance and hope you got enough to cover it if anything goes badly wrong. Yes, I was saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was through work, but I got a free 1 year's gym membership. This was an old job, not the current one. And then after a year, obviously I hadn't been at all because screw that for a game of soldiers. I then start getting messages saying that they were going to, take me to small claims and all this stuff because I hadn't paid my membership. I'm like, well, I never asked for a membership. I just got given one, and I never used it. So just cancel it. It's not that easy. We can't just cancel your membership. Yes, you can. I'm giving you authority. Cancel my membership because you won't be getting a penny from me. But you need to pay for your membership. No, I got a year's free membership. I never used it once. So why on earth would you think I'd want to pay for it? And they tried going on the health and fitness thing about how it's good for you and you really should work out and exercise and blah blah blah. At which point I told them what my job was. That, dude, I'm carrying pallets and heavy boxes about all day. Last thing I want to do when I finish work is do more exercise. I'm shattered. Right, nowadays, yeah, what I do for work is physically so easy, it's unreal. And the heaviest thing I might have to shift is a 40-kilo radiator, or maybe a sort of, well, yeah, anything heavier than that is on a pallet and goes out on the pallet. So, yeah. I'll probably get my steps in every day, whatever number that's supposed to be. So even just water change day is probably more exercise than most people would get. Lifting and shifting bucket upon bucket of water. And plus, these days, if someone told me I should go to the gym, I'd get dude, I'm 50 years old. I'll probably do more harm than good. Craigo, g'day, you galah. One day collecting with vibes. Got a burger at a place called Roadhouse. We've got 3 plants. Cool. Just plant you collecting, or if you find any fishy friends? Um, that's yeah. So Mary and I went to the local. I'll say the national chain store for pet stores today. Pets at Home. Thoroughly disappointing visit. Um, we went there looking for cardboard bunny chew toys, and they just didn't have anything remotely useful. I did pick up a couple of replacement sponges for the Fluval U1 filters, as they were cheap enough. As usual, several of the fish tanks were covered up with the sign that this tank is undergoing treatment and is unavailable for selling. You're like, right, well, what about all the other tanks on that stand that are all attached to the same filter and sump and water supply? As if one of those tanks has got an illness, it's probably spread to all of them. But I guess they just stick them up there usually when they've got new stock in to let it settle, rather than anything actually wrong. Because let's be honest, the people that work in pets at home probably couldn't identify a fish illness if it jumped up and bit them on the nose. I mean, these are the sort of people who will tell you that crebensis and angelfish aren't cichlids or rams. No, they are all cichlids. No, they're not. Yes, they are. And angelfish are one of the most vicious evil buggers out of all the cichlids, size wise. And most cichlids are actually pretty chill unless they're breeding, in which case they're protecting their young. Which you can kind of understand them getting a bit angry about. Yeah. Awesome top minnow achilles, ghost shrimp or bar shrimp, bluegill fry, sailfin molly, achilles. Eddie's brought them home 4 times and can't get until the past 2 weeks. Might be worth, and I might be teaching it to suck eggs here, but hey, sometimes we know we know things, but we don't actually do them, if you know what I mean. Might be worth testing the water where the minnow achilles are, and I don't just mean for pH and nitrates, I mean hardness and GH and KH and all that good stuff. And I'm guessing, is it a little stream or a lake or pond or ditch or whatever? Colorado River. Okay. I'm guessing you probably don't want to be taking the water out of the Colorado River. It's going to be nasty. That might be that they're not eating when you get them home. Colorado's not got massive amounts of speed of flow, has it? Not that I recall. It's not a raging torrent, shall we say. So yeah, that's what I'd do, is I'd get some of the water from where they are and give it a good test. See what it is, because it might be that it's either super soft, super hard, super high in calcium or something like that. Or as I said, they might need natural live food, as it were. They might be, being wild creatures, not used to eating fish food per se. I might be getting too warm, or it's one of those things where sometimes you think you're putting something, say you're taking a fish from the wild, which I've never done and I never would because it's illegal in the UK. Disclaimer. You might find that you're taking them from somewhere that's pretty nasty and polluted and putting them in clean water, and that's the problem. Over the generations, they've got used to a certain level of toxicity in the water. You go putting them in clean water and it gives them a shock. Right, if you take someone out of a smoggy, overcrowded city and you stick them in the middle of the countryside, they usually have some problems. Usually some form of allergy in humans. Or they just don't like the smell of nature. They think it's going to smell of pretty flowers and loveliness all the time, but it doesn't. Sometimes it smells pretty rank, especially when the oilseed is in, the rapeseed, sorry, is in full flower, and then it tipples down with rain, and that absolutely stinks, apparently. Or when the farmers go spraying the muck on the fields. Or when, like, at this time of year, they move the pigs. Generally to, I say, higher ground around here. That doesn't really mean much higher, but to places where it's not going to flood the moment it rains. Had to buy food or parameters. All the ones that don't escape are already sick. There's that distinct possibility. Oxygen levels, that's another one that can be either surprisingly high or surprisingly low. Again, look, if you were to take someone out of downtown, some big industrial city that's full of smog and pollutants, and you take them up to top of the Rockies, or maybe not the top, but somewhere fresh, clear, zero pollution in the air, kind of. Yeah, they're going to get ill. Probably actually to be high on oxygen. What next? I, P, or E? There's IMP. That's a good start. Yeah, we'll start with the P's. Golly, worked a lot hard. It's still barely legible. Things are fat. The phone is helping making it worse. Yeah. I'm used to, how should we say it, less than perfectly typed or perfectly written comments and notes, as some of the people I've worked with over the years, I would qualify as barely able to read and write. Um, the kind of people that I wouldn't have let out of school yet, and they're in their 30s. But yeah, no, if you can't pass that exam, you're not leaving school. But no, there's no reason for it. You don't have a learning difficulty. You're not anything like that. You're just dumb. You've just not paid attention through your 11 years of schooling. So now you can stay until you get it right. Remind every once in a while I'm a better reader. Yeah, I mean, I consider myself, just average reader writer. I mean, admittedly, the stuff I do read means I have a pretty good grasp of things and spelling and that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't say it was exceptional. But then when your manager gets you to proofread their email and goes, just make sure it makes sense and is spelt properly and make it sound more intelligent. Right. And then other people just type roughly what they want to say and run it through Chat GPT so it comes up with something. And then you read it and you go, yeah, you didn't write that. Don't feel special. I feel average. Well, average is a good thing to aim at. Right? If you're distinctly average, that means you're better than half the people out there. Which, when you let that one settle in, is quite a scary thought, really, isn't it? Yeah. I, I wouldn't say I'm hugely intellectual or anything like that. I'm just, me. But you know, I consider myself average as well. I mean, I'm average, weird, and nuts. So don't know what the hell that makes me. Probably special. But then, some people get elected to lead a country and they can't even pronounce Thailand or acetaminophen. But then the amount of people I know who can't pronounce ibuprofen, which isn't exactly a difficult one, especially as it gets said on TV often enough. And yes, I am fully aware I do sometimes mispronounce things, but I generally do it on purpose to get a rise. So or I'll spoonerize things if I think it sounds funny. Spoonerizing being where you take a two-word name and you switch the first letters around. So Dave Brown will become Dave Drown. We did a high school play that was spoonerized, Robin Hood. So you had Jitterlon, you had Robin Hood, Guy Gisborne and Maid Marian didn't really change at all. Yeah. Skill Wallet. Then it came down to Friar Tuck. We weren't allowed to do that one. I have no idea why they wouldn't let us spoonerize Friar Tuck. Oh, come on, unstick, unstick. There we go. There. There. Got hair in my mouth. Problem when it gets this long and you just washed it. I mean, I've got a cap on back to front to try and control it, but it doesn't appear to be working. Not fully anyway. The floof is out of control, man. Let's see, I'll finish off the peas and then I'll stop for a ciggy break, I reckon. Can't anymore. Leadership in the system is so disappointing, and yet it's still in it. Having the time to change some water. I've got a bunch of trapped energy, sadness, and rage. Boo. Yeah, I've been good, Craigo. How the devil have you been? I've been, keeping myself to myself and staying out of everyone else's drama. I've been quite windy this week. Producing some epic level rectal expulsions. Yeah, it's just easier. Life is always easier when you've got fewer people in it. That's what I find anyway. the whole saying about too many cooks spoiling the broth. It's not just the broth. Yeah. Yeah. Or so people who don't know right from wrong. My biggest bugbear is people who either refuse to change their thinking when presented with completely different set of facts because they've made up their mind and that's it. They can't change their mind. Even if it's been proven that the facts they've been given are wrong, Kennedy, they just refuse to change their mind. It's just, no. You know, if you and people who don't want to improve themselves. Now, I'm not about physical improvement because, yeah, I'm old, I'm broken. I've been smoking for longer than most YouTubers have been alive. That said, I could probably cycle further than most YouTubers. You know, for me, you know, it's mental growth, learning, constant learning. That's what life's about. Not getting to a certain point and just stopping. It's like when you leave school, that's not when you stop learning stuff. That's when you actually start learning for yourself. School teaches you how to pass exams, but it also teaches you how to learn, how to research, how to find the information that you need to find for what you want to learn. Whether that be the internet, the library, whatever. Asking older people, people with more experience, or more qualifications, or common sense. And also to not just believe the first thing you read or see. Go with several different sources and put together what they all say. And as I've said before, if you get go to three different sources, and if two give you broadly similar information and one gives you completely different information, maybe ignore that one because it's probably wrong. And yes, this picture is probably what you're thinking it is if you can see it on your phone screen. And I suppose I really should move that down there a bit to cover things up a bit better, but yeah, it's just that and two-faced people. I don't do two-faced people well. Kind of people who are nice to your face and at the same time they're trying to stab you in the back. Which, as I alluded to recently, that's what happened at work. Someone nice as pie to my face and tried to stab me in the back. Unfortunately for them, what they tried to backstab me over, which got investigated, was put down as just warehouse banter. So, just normal, everyday kind of things you say as a joke. The problem is, what I may have accidentally slipped about them was actually gross misconduct. So, yeah, that's why they're no longer a problem anymore. They got moved to a different store. Yeah, they tried to screw with the wrong person. They screwed with the person who had the dirt on them. And may their genitals be infested with the fleas of 1,000 reindeer. That is an old Sami saying, or people from Finland, the native Finns, Finland, Sweden, that kind of area, the reindeer herders. Yeah, saying you're a Christian doesn't mean that either. Yeah, I mean, I'd never say I'm a saint or a wonderful human being. I just try to be the best person I can be. Which I suppose is all any of us can really do. It's yeah, I just try to be a decent person. Try to take people as I find them. Don't judge a book by its cover, because some of the nicest people I've met are probably the people that most people go, ugh. Yeah, some of the people I've got on well with the best have been the biggest nut jobs on the face of the planet. And yes, I'm including you in that, Craig. But then, as we all know, Craig is half Yowie, so the other half is he's half Yowie, half Bunyip. Whereas I'm just a weirdo. Yeah, it's really not. I don't know why so many people struggle with just being a decent human being. It's not that difficult. I mean, you shouldn't need a book to tell you how to behave. Maybe that's what I should start doing. Philosophy. Philosophy according to Sharpe. Oh God, that'd be bad. That'd be awful. That'd be almost as bad as me reading. Well, by which I mean reading like a horror story or something. Willful ignorance, yes. Choosing to be ignorant because you know the truth is not what you want to hear. Because the truth goes against what you believe and think. Right. And let's take this out of politics and religion and stuff and go with, say, the paranormal. It's something we talk about regularly. There are people who believe, people who don't believe, people who are on the fence, and whatever, each to their own. But don't dismiss another person's experiences or beliefs just because they don't match with yours. That doesn't make them any less of a person or any worse. Seen a UFO. We will. Yeah, exactly. Christ, the US government last year actually released, was it last year? Was it 2024? Was it earlier? Might have been earlier. Actually released a whole bunch of stuff and basically said, yeah, unidentified flying objects, or what they call them. They've given them a different name so they don't get lumped in with the ufologists or whatever they want to call them these days. UAP, isn't it? Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah, I mean, so yes, I've had enough weird experiences. And while I might not believe that aliens are visiting the planet, are there unexplainable things happening in the skies? Yes. At some point, maybe science will explain it. But until then, we're like the old people in the Dark Ages who put things down to witchcraft and demons and whatever because they didn't understand it. The people who thought, at one point, a video he took, at one point we all thought that diseases were spread by bad smells. Now, if you follow the logic, the people who were dying of cholera tended to live places that were quite stinky. Now, that was due to the streets being open sewers. But you can understand where you put two and two together there and come up with five. And that's what a lot of things that were in the past. Well, he took someone from the 16th century and showed them a car. Let alone an aeroplane or a helicopter. Or TV. Oh, Christ. You'd probably take someone born in the late 1800s, show them the internet, and it'd scare the hell out of them. Mind you, there's plenty of people that were born this century scared of the internet. Like the whole having to prove you're 18 now. If the site contains things that someone has decided that under 18s can't see or read. We all know exactly what happened there. We all know what happened with some politician, probably a female politician, walked in on their son masturbating. The library's got UFO stuff on our area. Apparently it's a hot spot. Front counter's covered in them. Could well be worth having a read up and a research. And it's like Norfolk is known for black shuck, the black dog of death, which I don't believe. I mean, I believe in shuck because the old Snarlygaster, because I've seen him more than once, or experienced him more than once, I should say. But I don't believe is this omen of death and carnage that is the general held view. To me, I think he's just a nature spirit and actually more of a protector than a destroyer. So every story you read about someone seeing him and then something bad happening, you also get the stories like the time A district nurse was cycling home in the dark one evening, and she became aware of a giant black dog following her. So obviously she cycled a bit faster, got home. All safe and sound, nothing bad happened. But then later on that night, someone else was going down that road and got taken by how should we put it? A murderist. So it's like, was Sharpe actually just keeping her safe? Just there making sure nothing bad happened to her? That's what I choose to think. Bell won a lawn tractor worth $10,000. Told people only this. Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, no more pushing the mower. And I'm sure Bell will let you use it. But yes, well done to Bell. And that's if you decide you want to keep it and not just sell it. But if I want to ride on mower, it'd be a bit pointless because I've only got my front garden, and that's what, I don't know, maybe 10 by 8 feet of grass. Keeping it. Yeah, I'm gonna guess you probably got more grass than I've got. Although I don't think there's a huge amount of grass left there anymore. I think it's mostly clover and other weeds. Things that actually flower that bees and insects and the like actually benefit from. And there's grass that gets cut to less than an inch or an inch long every week or every couple of weeks or whatever. Doesn't do any of the wildlife any good. Yeah, it got heat. That's why Bill went so hard out to get it. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if half the people actually just wanted Belle to sit in their lap. That's see there, I'm a big tall man. That's a good luck. She got dagger it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to upset her. I'd have probably just gone, yeah, you can have it. That's what they all say. First lady went flying. Okay, so what would Belle's wrestling name be? I was like, don't hurt anyone. And Belle was like, I don't care. We're getting that mower. Bless. See, she was only thinking of you. Trying to save you a bit of work. Most likely so she can find you other jobs to do when you finish mowing the grass. Yeah, the thought's there. No, we only want the one bag. Knees are effed. All our knees effed. My business has got a mowing service now. Hell yeah. What the hell not? If it's anyone local enough, you can just ride around on the mower. That's why up at 5 a.m. is your back splaying up here. This is the thing. It's like I say to the people who do the gym stuffs all the time, that you're going to regret it. You're going to get older and you're going to have worn stuff out. You're just going to get to a point where you're going, ow. All the people you see out running on, and they're running on pavement, tarmac, concrete, you're like, that's really not good for your knees, your hips, your feet, your back. Doesn't matter if you're wearing special trainers that are springy and got air soles, and it still impacts that those joints aren't meant to take. Not that much anyway. And I say this as someone who's suffered with shin splints badly in the past. Yeah, morphine helps. Up down ladders in, yeah. So our body can only take a certain amount of use and abuse, and then things just start going, nope. You've worn me out a bit too much, and now I'm screwed. And I ain't going to be getting better anytime soon. You get away with it when you're younger, but as you start getting older, these things start building up and adding up, and before you know it, it takes you just as long to get out of bed as it does to go and have the pee that you need in the middle of the night. Well, once you go to the hospital and get checked, I'm too scared. Yeah, there is that. I will admit I'm kind of in a similar boat. That I don't go to the doctors or stuff. It's like, yeah, if I go with this one thing, chances are they're going to find something else. They're going to take my blood pressure or do a lung capacity thing, something, and find something much worse than what I've gone in for. So I just avoid it like the plague now. I'm sure at some point I'll end up in there going, Doc, help. But at least I'm not taking up valuable appointments for people who need to see a doctor about a cold or a slight dose of food poisoning or a dose of the squits. But I'm ill, I need tablets. Just rest up for a couple of days, you'll be all right. This doctor was awful, they didn't do anything. It's like, you got a cold. Something in 30 years, like a trainer thought my lungs would be cactus. Yeah, to be fair, my lungs probably are, but yeah, so what have I been smoking for now? 36 years? But I tell myself that hand rolled or rollies, roll ups, whatever you want to call them, are actually healthier, as it were, as you are just smoking tobacco. Tailor-made or ready-mades have got all sorts in them to keep them burning, including benzene and formaldehyde, which are both very well known as being very bad for the human body. The one they use to preserve us when we die, and the other one they use as fuel for vehicles. Well, they make plastic out of. It's a byproduct of petroleum. I feel like I don't have enough money. I'm scared. Yeah, there's ethanol. Yeah, there's all sorts of nasties in there. As I say, you don't tend to hear of people who, and this is not medical advice, disclaimer, this is just me thinking out loud. But you don't tend to hear of too many people who smoke pipes or smoke roll ups that get the big C, do you? It's. And let's be honest, the amount of other crud we breathe in on a daily basis. Out walking down the street or cycling along or whatever in a bus or an articulated lorry or semi comes past you and belches a cloud of black diesel fumes into your face. That's probably going to do you a lot less good than a couple of ciggies are. I mean, again, this is just me speculating and what have you, but I enjoy smoking. Don't take it up, people. It's not good for you. It's unhealthy. It stinks. People will look at you like you're some kind of heathen scumbag poisoning the earth. But also, don't take up vaping because we don't actually know what damage that does long term either. Yeah, it's. That's it. Here's where I wake up tomorrow and cough up half a lung or something. Yeah, vapes. because inhaling glycerine vapor is a really good idea. Water vapor, yeah, it's still bad enough, but that you can actually clear that out your lungs quite easily. I mean, glycerine, in my experience, tends to be really sticky. Both my kids smoked a bar in front of me. I mean, the whole vape thing came from getting people to stop smoke. Well, it was a stop smoking aid, wasn't it? Get the e-cigs. So you still got a hit of nicotine and you still got something in your fingers, but you're not actually inhaling smoke. And that was literally just a nicotine thing. But, I just don't see the point in vaping if it's not a nicotine-based vape. If you just want to taste blueberry and melon, just buy blueberry or melon flavored sweets or candies. Yeah, and if you really want to smoke and you want it to taste of fruity goodness, I hate to break it to you, but they've been making cherry tobacco and all sorts of different flavors of tobacco for centuries. Black cherry, black currant, cherry, apple. Yeah, they've been making tobaccos like that for centuries. You just had to go to a proper tobacconist to buy them. And they won't be pre-made. Yeah, I'd rather eat sweets than eat fruit, but I can't stand eating fruit. Again, that's down to the no sense of smell, serious lack of taste, and I just, it's the consistency generally. Plus, yeah, they don't really taste of much to me. So it's basically like eating slightly sweetened, crunchy water or mushy water. Ugh. Just give me something that's laced with copious amounts of citric acid and I'll be all right. Like the people go, oh, I don't like the green ones. I like the red ones and the yellow one, or red ones and the orange ones. It's like, you do realise they're all exactly the same flavour, right? No, they're not. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're all the same flavour. They're just citric acid flavour. It's just you see the colour and you think it's going to taste of whatever that colour is. So the red sweets you think taste of strawberries. The black ones you think taste of blackcurrant. Or in the States, the purple ones, oh, they taste of grape. No, they don't. They just taste of vitamin C. And as I said, take this from a person who can't actually smell any difference either. So my sense of taste is honest. They all taste exactly the same because they all are exactly the same. They're not making 8, 9, 10 different flavours of Skittles. It's the same gooey white thing in the middle, and then they just put a different coloured sugar shell on it. And that's probably why the ones they did for Pride didn't sell very well. You'd think, Skittles, Taste the Rainbow, perfect thing for Pride Month. So what they did was they took all the colours out and made them all white, which is a bit racist, I guess, but because of that, people couldn't see the difference. And those who had preferences didn't want to eat them because they might eat the ones they didn't like because they couldn't see the difference. And the ones who still did have them were like, oh, they all taste the same anyway. You can try it yourself. Just get a pack of fruity sweets, fruit gums, not wine gums, fruit gums, fruit pastels, Skittles, whatever. And just do a blind tasting. Eat them without looking at them. They'll all taste exactly the same. And which people get very upset and very confused. Right, what colour are we doing next? 9. No, don't do that, Sharpe. You get in trouble. Don't go all German on us, all German. And yes, this is a square drill canvas, so that's why it's taking longer. Because the square drills are smaller than the round drills. And obviously they fit in much tighter as well. I've got pepper machine gun fly, the crazy, just a little. Yeah. Yeah. It's hopefully no one was hurt. And hopefully the perpetrators are brought to justice. And get the book thrown at them and the key lock thrown away. Maybe stick them in with, I can't remember her name, but you probably will, Craig. Aussie woman who red rummed and then skinned her husband and was going to feed bits of him to their kids. I can't remember her name. Basically had his skin hanging up. Empty house, I think it was a warning. Might make me an addict, but I never drank for the flavour. Yeah, well, I'm not going to knock Skittles vodka. Catherine, not that. I think that's the one. But then, given my name, I probably shouldn't laugh and joke about Australian murderers, should I? Well, that explains a lot. Yeah, so given my name, it's probably not a good thing to Google if you're an Australian. You're not. No, I'm not going to go with that joke. Yeah, thank F. I don't know. She was quite cute. Um, Come on, we've all seen the aunties or step aunt, stepmother videos on YouTube. Well, not on YouTube, on other video channels, sources. One's in the UK where you have to prove you're 18 first. Um, but yes, for those who don't know, a chap by the name of John Sharpe, an Australian, no relation. Uh, yeah, brutal family murder. Uncle Chop Chop. Chopper Reed. Is it Chopper Reed or Chopper Harris? No, Chopper Harris was the footballer, weren't it? Yeah. Mark Chopper Reed. Yes, I'm familiar with that one. Was it Hugh Jackman who played him in the movie? I can't remember now. Chopper Reed, yes. Yeah, heaps of sharps in Australia. Yeah. They're probably some of the first ones that got sent out there. Let's just say they're probably not the ones who paid for their ticket with money. Um, you know, other than that, John Sharpe and a footballer, the only other sort of famous or infamous one that ever popped up was another Brit, and this one might have been a relative. But they got put in jail and subsequently executed for necromancy. Like, okay. Man's brother. Yeah, so you guys had Chopper, we had Charlie Bronson, who keeps trying to get out of prison. Well, I say prison, he's not in prison, he's in a mental hospital, basically. Broadmoor, which is a institution for the criminally insane, should we put it that way? Yeah, he keeps trying to claim he's a changed man, and he may well be. But he's frigging Charles Bronson. And he went away in the late 70s for armed robbery. And he's still in there. Bangalore State Forest, Ivan Milat. Yeah. So it don't matter which part of the country or world you go to, there's nut jobs everywhere. And my general advice is, if you do encounter them, just try not to look at them too weird. Yeah, just if you do encounter one of these kinds of people, just be nice, be pleasant. Although, if you encounter a serial killer and you're You're their victim profile. Probably not a lot we can do. But I highly doubt I'm anyone's, any serial killer's victim profile would be me. There's not a lot of live and let live for necromancers or people. Yeah, exactly. Anyone. It's like Ian Watkins, the guy who was the singer for Lost Prophets, a fairly successful metal band at the time, and he was found guilty of doing it with a baby. Yeah, I mean, that is a legit reason to choke someone out. A fight in the workshop when you gave me the look I'll never forget. Yeah, the look that says, try that again, it'll be your last time. Yeah, so it's, you're all rehabilitated now, though, aren't you, Craig? And that probably did more to do it than any length of sentence did. Thankfully, I've never even been arrested. I know you wouldn't believe it. Given some of the stuff I've done over the years, I've got very lucky. But yeah, and I say so. Like, if I didn't have a hammer in my hand, yeah, might have. Yeah, a hammer is quite a good deterrent to most people, I will admit. I'd think twice about messing with someone who's holding a hammer. But yeah, so the Ian Watkins of Lost Prophets, so he was sent to jail for what he did. And it took a while. Yeah, he got what was coming to him recently. And I want to talk about punishing the guy who did it. Yeah, had a brew. Well, yeah, it's not like anyone's going to walk in, is it? Another 30 on top of it. He's not seeing the outside then. Yeah. What you have to keep in mind, what you have to remember, is most of the people in prison are just normal, decent, everyday people. They either fell in with the wrong crowd, something went wrong, or did something a bit iffy, whatever, and they ended up in there. And then you get the people in there who really deserve to be in there. And, of those, a certain group of them basically walking around with a target on their head. Because let's be honest, the guy who snuffed Ian Watkins, yeah, drink drivers is, yeah, that's one I hate. The punishments were always so lenient as well. I mean, I say if you get caught driving with alcohol in your system, that's it. You're just banned from driving for life. It's like, yeah, we're just going to take your license away, tear it up, and then we're going to worry about what we're going to charge you with on top of that. That should be it. In Australia, they go to a separate jail where you can't get to them. They generally do that with the kiddie fiddlers here. But sometimes they end up in Gen Pop, as it were. That's when they don't tend to do so well. That's when things tend to go a bit pear-shaped for them. Especially when they're the ones who've been bragging about their crimes. There's so many people walking around Texas. Yeah, so I mean, if someone's in jail and they off a kiddie fiddler, wife beat, those kind of people. If they remove those people from the gene pool, the rest of their prison sentence is pretty easy. People are like, yeah, you did a good thing. We'll leave you be now. It's not about that, respect for doing. No, it's just, yeah, you did a good thing. Yeah. But they won't do because, well, it's not safe for them. Well, no, tough. Well, it's safe for their victims either. Yeah, I mean, I know it's slightly different in the States, but here, I'm guessing in Oz, the prisons are all state run. Prisons, jails, whatever you want to call them. So we, the public, our taxes go towards paying to keep these people safe and alive. Whereas we, the public, would probably much rather, much rather not. As the old saying says, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And if you do something completely heinous, don't brag about it while you're in there. Oh, that was wet. Oh, juicy. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, though, now if you think about the TV series Dexter, right, you got a serial killer, bad dude, but he only kills other bad dudes, so he's kind of the hero. Now, maybe, and this is just completely out of left field and probably way past the mark. Every country has at least one, someone who just likes killing for killing's sake. They're not doing it for any other reason. They're the person that you put the undesirable prisoners. They're the person you put them with, and you tell them what they did. I ain't going to be paying for them for very long. Get someone who's they're never going to get out of jail. They're going to die in jail. Right? You just put these people in their cell. Problem solved. And how we got one in the UK who's basically in a Magneto style acrylic cell underneath Wigan jail. Wolfie. The most dangerous prisoner in England. I don't think he is. I mean, he's institutionalised now, so they probably can't let him out because he wouldn't be able to manage. Those shells in Australia are better living than low-income areas. It really sucks. Yeah, it's a lot of places are like that though. There's a certain standard that has to be kept to with prisoners in jails because human rights and all that kind of stuff. Then there's people on the outside struggling to make ends meet day to day, living in worse conditions. Is it any wonder that back in the past, when there would be, a bad winter storm coming, the tramps, hobos, whatever, they would commit some minor crime and make sure they got caught doing it, just so they could spend a few days in jail. 3 square meals a day, a bed to sleep in, and not freezing to death. Yeah. But then, I mean, yes, it should be about the punishment. Even I've heard of Parramatta. Yeah. And so, light manufacturing, yeah. Problem is, you've got to be very careful about who you let do it, because people are going to be getting hold of sharp things and pokey things. 18 when you first. What was I doing when I was 18? I was living in digs. Yeah, I had one room in a house. That was it. But then by the time I was 21, I had a mortgage and I was living here. So kind of scary to think the amount of times I've moved in my life, and it was all in the first 20 years of my life. In the next 30, I've stayed in the same place. Hell, when I was younger, there were some places I lived for like 6 weeks. Officer said I'm getting F tonight. Scared 10 years off me when they opened the door. My cousin was sitting on the bed. Yeah, that's part of the rehabbing, isn't it? Make you too scared to want to go back again. Because I get that prisons should be about rehabilitation for the majority of people. Obviously, there are those who just shouldn't be let out again. They're not going to be rehabilitated. So you got to treat people like human beings with at least some kindness. And tears not to wipe my butt. I've had to do that after some of my farts though. So yeah, so there needs to be rehab, learning, these things in prisons, and that probably works for 95% of the population that are in prison, but or more. But there's always those ones that you just know they're going to be back in if you let them out. Yeah, it only really works for those who want it to work. Got to be drug free rehab. Yeah. Idea of prison population is, yeah, it's let's be honest, it's slavery. That's what it is. Especially the people that are in there doing years for something stupid like weed or some petty crime they committed as a youngster. And then other people get pardoned. 23 cents an hour I worked for. I think I've had jobs like that in the past. Anyway, it's time for me to make a move. So thank you very much for everyone who's been here for an enlightening conversation. Have a good week. Stay safe. Enjoy your ride on lawnmowers. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do.